Welcome back to The Rich Life. My name is Aaron, and today we're going to be talking about the rich life of Morfydd Clark. Now, before we get started, don't forget to click like and subscribe for your daily dose of your favorite celebrity content. Morfydd Clark is a Welsh actress who has worked in many films and TV series such as Two Missing, Madame Bovary, The Falling, New Worlds and a Poet in New York, Pride and the Prejudice and Zombies, Love and Friendship, The Call Up, Crawl, and many more. Her work is appreciated by a lot of her fans. She is a very private person and has maintained to keep her personal life very low-key and away from the limelight. Although she did share that at a young age she was diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia. She was born on the 17th of March 1989 in Sweden. However, when she was 2 years old, her family moved to Cardiff, Wales. There's no information given about her birthday, parents, or siblings, but she is fluent in speaking English and Welsh. Later, it was found out that she'd been diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia. As she was able to overcome her diagnosis in 2009, she got admission to the British Youth Music Theatre, United Kingdom, and the National Youth Theatre of Wales. Morfydd began her acting career by performing in various theatres. She even left her college's final term to play the role of Saunders Lewis in Theatre Genedlaethol, Camrw, Wales, and at the Domar Warehouse, she performed Lillesian's Dangerous and Sheffield. In 2014, she made a debut in various films and TV series like Two Missing, Madame Bovary, The Falling, New Worlds, and a Poet in New York. Next year, she made appearances in TV series named Arthur and George as a character named Mary. In the year 2016, she was seen in various films like Pride and the Prejudice and Zombies, Love and Friendship, National Theatre Live, The Call Up, and The Prevailing Winds. The next year, she was also seen working hard in many films like Interlude in Prague and The Man Who Invented Christmas. In 2018, she received various offers to make an appearance on the TV series such as The Alienist, The City and the City, Patrick Melrose, and Outsiders. Since her work was loved and appreciated by many fans in 2019, she did a film called Crawl, where she was the main lead character named Beth Keller. She was also seen working in the film The Personal History of David Copperfield and Eternal Beauty, and in the television series called His Dark Material. During the pandemic in 2020, only 2 of her works were able to be released. The name of the film and series was Saint Maud and Dracula. In 2021, it was announced that she got a role in the new Lord of the Rings playing Galadriel. Although she is single, there's no information about her past relationships, but she does seem to be very focused on her career and likes to keep her personal life to herself. But it's expected that her net worth is around $2 million. Although she doesn't really say much, it's really hard to find her because she's not available on social media much, but her fans have created a bunch of pages for her. So she attended her drama school in London to get ready for her acting career. She performed at Crucible Theatre as Juliet in the drama Romeo and Juliet. At age 16, she left her school because she suffered from ADHD and dyslexia. And she also received the BAFTA award for her film Eternal Beauty. But now we're going to be talking about bigger things like this Lord of the Rings reboot show that they have going on. Fans of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings films have a fairly set image of elven ruler Galadriel, an ethereal mystical figure who looks a lot like Cate Blanchett. Now, Prime Video's new series Rings of Power, however, gives us a younger, more grounded and fiery take on the character, courtesy of the actress Morfydd Clark. Now, at a recent Rings of Power press day, the IO9 got a chance to speak with Clark about how the series let her explore a new, more action-oriented interpretation of Galadriel, and how she balanced that with the future version of the character as the glowing, seemingly all-knowing creature that we meet in the later years of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. Now, embarking on any major creative project is a leap of faith. For Welsh actress Morfydd Clark, star of indie horror Saint Maud, that leap was larger than most. "I moved to New Zealand without knowing which character I was playing," she says in disbelief. "That seems insane now. All I knew is that I was an elf. I never for a moment thought that I could be her. I think her serenity and wisdom is definitely hard-earned and something I was not aware of," Clark said. "I knew The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and yes, the elves there have kind of reached the serenity, but actually the elves caused a lot of damage and they did a lot of intense, stupid things. They used to make each other jump off buildings and stuff. Loads of elves were like sentenced to death and things. They were really messy." So that was really interesting to find all that out. Clark also took some real-world inspiration from her portrayal. "I also think that some of the most serene older people I know, when they tell you about their lives, you're like, oh my gosh, that makes sense now that you're so calm because you've been through it." But it was really fun and it was really interesting to think about. As an immortal being, can you be young? Naivety to the elves, it would probably be arrogance, and that causes a lot of mess at times. With the best intentions, when you're that powerful and don't know your limits, it can be a bit dangerous. So as Clark plays elven warrior Galadriel, the same character portrayed by Academy Award winner Cate Blanchett in the Lord of the Rings films trilogy, it felt like there was a full circle moment for Clark. Blanchett has been such a huge part of my childhood as Galadriel. She literally feels like a mythical being to me. Clark exclusively told E! News that. "I felt really obviously so lucky to be playing this character, to be portrayed by her, but it's also nice to know where your character is going." Indeed, Clark was able to take solace in the fact that not only does Galadriel grow up to become the most powerful of all the elves in the Middle-earth, she also grows up to be Cate Blanchett. To kind of think who Galadriel is now, she has no idea who she's going to become. That she'll become the queen of the Lothlorien, but she'll also become Cate Blanchett. That's cool. When it came time to imbue Galadriel on her own flair, Clark was able to connect her with the character on a personal level. She has a very strong strong sense of justice and is quite rigid with that. And it can be a little ragged at times, she revealed. I think what's interesting about her is what drives her is is instinct. She can't even necessarily put into words or know herself. The fact that Clarke fell into kinship with Galadriel is a relief, as the Rings of Power follows Galadriel as she builds her own fellowship. My brother gave his life hunting to the enemy, she says in the later trailer, released on August 23rd. His task is now mine. The series features many other beloved characters from J.R.R. Tolkien's Second Age, including Prince Dorian, Disa, and Nori. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power hits Prime Video on September 2nd.
Now here's a fun clip I found of her saying the Welsh alphabet as she grew up speaking Welsh. Like, what? Like, it's hard to figure out where one sound ends and another begins. But that sounds funny, difficult, and cool all at the same time, so you go, girl. And here's an interview about her discussing how she felt after she found out she got the role in the new Lord of the Rings. And also her talking about in the past she had passed out on stage while doing an interview.
Like, you got it. Can't tell anyone. I was like, okay, cool.
She has also said that while filming the Lord of the Rings, she had to do exposure therapy. Speaking to Empire in the Glass Onion issue, Clarke opened up about the very particular training she needed for the Rings of Power. When I was playing Galadriel, the stunt team said, "You've got a problem because you're used to being attacked on film," she says. "I would flinch a lot when people came at me, so they did exposure therapy with me, where I would have all these huge men running at me, screaming with swords, to stop me from looking frightened, because I've definitely been cast as a victim. And Galadriel is not that. The first audition, I didn't know what I was auditioning for," Clarke recalls. "The actress next to me looked over all sneaky and was like, 'Do you know what this is for? It's Lord of the Rings.' And I'm forever grateful to her. I went into the toilet and just stared at myself and was like, 'You've got to put yourself together. You've been training for this for years. You know what to do, it's in your blood,' because I'd been obsessively watching Lord of the Rings my whole childhood," she continued. So I guess it was really meant to be.
Let me know in the comments below who your favorite character is or what your favorite movie is from the Lord of the Rings series, because I haven't even seen any of them. So give me some insight. My name's Aaron. Thanks for checking out the video. See you soon.